Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we explore the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Milan Kohut, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced, the lessons learned, and the strategies fueling future growth. Today, I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined by Nancy Stevens, a life, career, and leadership coach. Nancy works with career-focused professionals and business owners to help them move from overwhelm and disconnection into greater clarity, confidence, and balance. Her approach is deeply holistic, combining mindset, emotional well-being, and self-awareness to help people reconnect with themselves and lead more intentionally in both their work and their lives. With that being said, Nancy, let me officially welcome you to Founders Future.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here today with you on this amazing podcast. Thank you.
We're going to have some fun. This is going to be a cool conversation. So a lot of different things that I want to cover. So we're just going to jump right into all of this. And how I love to open up with every single one of my guests is with a bit of traveling back in time. So before you even launched this current company of yours, what was that journey like for you before? And then eventually, what was the motivation for even getting into this space?
I love that question. Really, before I even began my business, I was just at that time just a very busy mom of 4 active sons. They had moved cross country with my husband. I was helping him with his business. And I was just go, 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 go. The minute I woke up to the minute I go to bed, just constantly taking care of everyone and doing things. And what I didn't know at the time was slowly losing connection with myself and reacting much more, kind of feeling more, which I didn't know it, more burned out. And all this came to a head one day when I happened to take a class that offered daycare for my youngest sons and thought I'll just take that one because they have daycare. I need a break. The class was a yoga class, which I'd never experienced before. I didn't know anything about it. And something occurred at the end of the class during a moment in yoga. It's called Shavasana. It's kind of closes the end of the class practice when you're asked to do nothing more than to just be still and silent, being yourself. And during that moment, I felt tears roll down my eyes as if something deeply connected within me that, said, wow, you matter. What you need matters, not just all of your busyness in doing this. And so that pivotal moment of knowing I mattered began my journey forward into really enjoying, wanting to know more about yoga, becoming certified as a mind-body yoga teacher. And from there, wanting to go deeper, moving into becoming credentialed as a coach. And from there, kind of learning all the facets of the business. And again, learning over again to take the mindfulness practices learned from yoga into my business and how that could serve so many people in so many ways. So it literally, my journey of this business began with me experiencing what it meant to be cared for on a yoga mat many, many years ago.
I love it. You know what, especially when it comes to today's day and age, I feel like we're operating within an environment that is so dynamic. Everybody is a high performer. We have so much ambition. We're always chasing something. And it's funny how hard it is if somebody asks you to just be still, just be with yourself, with your thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
even for a couple of minutes. I know for myself, like it's been a journey. I've been trying to get more and more into meditation, yoga, stuff like that. So I have a lot of admiration for people who actually mastered it. But when it comes to this, though, obviously with you really leveraging this as a business opportunity, I'm pretty sure it took some time to really gain
Mm-hmm.
this kind of clarity in terms of who is this for? Who do I really want to work with? In what way? How do I structure the offer? So we're going to talk about where that journey got you overall and what the business looks like today. So with
Mm-hmm.
that in mind, to build out some clarity for the audience, who is it exactly that you currently describe as that avatar or the ICP, the ideal client? And also, what does that signature offer of yours looks like?
My, I guess you could say my signature ideal client is a person who is successful, be considered a high performance professional that does well in their career of leading teams, leading implementing processes, procedures, able to get things done externally, has it all together as a leader and a decision maker. But their internal side is spent by maybe over analyzing, carrying the load, burnout, a little bit of uncertainty, questioning, wondering about their every move, while you would never know it by looking at them because they seem put together, able to respond quickly and make a decision. But inside, there's this constant churning of uncertainty, over analyzing, never quite feeling they can come down at the end of the day. And my programs are structured for that type of an individual, typically female, but it also can be male professionals too. Somebody in a leadership capacity, typically professional, who are really looking to have that balance of how they work externally to match how they are internally, so that they have more balance between personal and professional. They don't feel like they're switching, jumping roles. They can finally calm down and trust themselves that they have made that right decision, that they can move forward. And my offers are structured around, I do one-to-one offers, and I do like a single deep dive session. I occasionally do workshops, and at this point, I'm not offering group coaching, but that's something I'm looking to move into later. So my work is more individualized, works one on one with the person based on what they have brought to, what goals they want to achieve, what it is they want to work on, and we move together to create that program for them that meets them where they're at.
Absolutely. Nancy, with you mentioning those workshops, it also begs a different question because if we look at like all of those other professionals in your industry, I think everybody's sort of torn between like, hey, I can either focus on the side of B2C and just work with people directly, or I can really get into that space of B2B and just work with bigger organizations,
Mm-hmm.
corporates perhaps, and just do those workshops for their teams and just have
Mm-hmm.
that sort of targeting. But when it comes to you, I'm curious, where does the passion lie the most? Is it going to be the B2C sector or the B2B?
Well, that's an interesting question. I'm at a good transition and intersection. Um, because of my individual work of coaching, getting to be a little bit more recognized as being, a leader and a teacher of these holistic self-care practices that are now more important than ever to individualize leaders. So I enjoy leading workshops that are experiential, hands-on, while at the same time leaving really value focused, insightful content that those who attend the workshop can just feel a source of having learned something, having brought something in by not only having heard it being, quote, lecture format, but also having had a moment to experience and process what that means. So I really enjoy both. And I'm moving into a phase of expanding more. I currently do some learn workshops on LinkedIn. I'm on another platform. I've done workshops on a Learn It Live platform, and I'm actually doing a live in person workshop at an upcoming wellness retreat sponsored by the Wellness Universe, in which I'll be leading an immersive, hands on, embodied yoga practice.
Well, it's going to be interesting to balance between those both worlds, right? And like we
Mm-hmm.
could look at it from several different perspectives, but I always look at it from the perspective of like, hey, I need to be in the most ideal position where I can effectively communicate the offer to my target audience. Well, in
Mm-hmm.
this case, there's going to be a couple of those different target audiences. So it's going to be interesting how you approach this from a marketing standpoint. But really, with you mentioning that you're in a phase where you just want to expand more and just impact a lot more people, I'm curious, what do you genuinely feel like is going to be that most scalable model for you? Like when it comes to your one-on-one time, we all know there is a limit to it. So do you feel like
Mm-hmm.
it would be perhaps about having other coaches assistant coaches working under you with your methodologies, with your frameworks, or is it going to be more about getting into that world of group coaching? What do you feel like is going to be the thing for you?
Um, I haven't really processed a possibility of bringing in other coaches, although that's certainly a possibility. Probably at this time where I'm at, continue to bring the work I do out to a wider audience by offering the workshops whose topics would target my ideal audience, which is tools and techniques for stress release, burnout, um, greater trust, self confidence, moving from indecision into more clear decision. So by offering the workshops, I'm getting in obviously in front of a room of many people and giving them the ability to have a taste of who I am and what I offer. And then from there, obviously more and more people will know who I am and what I do. Um, so that is an expansion point. So maybe looking for more places to do paid workshops to bring that content that's thought provoking, informative, insightful, and educational to that group. And then from there, they get to find out those who resonate with me can, book a clarity call with me based on what they received and how it made them feel at the workshop.
100%. Yeah, Nancy,
Yeah.
with you mentioning getting in the room with the right people, with like-minded people, talking about the marketing as I started talking about it a couple of minutes
Mm-hmm.
ago, let's dive a little bit deeper into that. We all know that we live in a world of social media, AI, all of those tools that we can leverage to really get this kind of exposure and volume that you need to scale the business. So when it comes to you, what is it that you currently do on the side of marketing and maybe specifically that lead generation piece to be in a position where you can continue to onboard new and new clients and just keep scaling the impact of your company?
What I do on a consistent daily and weekly basis on my website, I post a blog and I work with my website person to make sure it's SEO and keyword optimized. I work with my personal list to give them insightful, informed content. So I'm keeping them warm and high high contact. The platform I currently use the most is LinkedIn and Wellness Universe. So I'm posting thought provoking content on LinkedIn to target my ideal audience and give them what they need. I'm doing monthly live workshops on LinkedIn, again, to get in front of more people so they can reach out to me and know more about me. Getting a hold of my lead generation. That I also post a weekly newsletter on LinkedIn, and I have a link to my lead magnet so people will get something of value, and then that can connect them with me. And by doing my work through an organization through the Wellness Universe, I sometimes do guest. I'm invited as a guest summit leader on that, and through their Learn It Live platform. So I'm constantly working on putting myself out there in a way that is authentic and sincere to who I work with, what I do, and to resonate with those who are in that place where they're really wanting more and they can't get it on their own. So it's LinkedIn Live, the Wellness Universe, and working to do more and more workshops to my audience of successful high achieving professionals.
Yeah, several different pillars that you're
Yeah.
building. So I love the sound of that. But also, let me ask you this question. Everything that you've mentioned so far is really on that side of using those organic channels. So I
Mm-hmm.
am curious, have you at any point in time tried to leverage the paid side of social media to maybe generate more volume, get more exposure to those right people who are actually in a good position to invest? Or what is your experience with that?
um, a couple of years ago I did a little bit of paid work on social media, and I didn't really see much results. It could be that I didn't quite know. I was working with an ad campaign person, but maybe it wasn't the right keywords or the right timing, so it didn't really work work well with me. I'm wondering it's because the work that I do is it's very relational. It's referral based. It is on the emotional side, the personal side that leads to that is professional. That people might feel more comfortable reading a testimony, reading a recommendation, getting referred, and maybe those finding those touch points. If I were to do more paid, that would bring the right people in. But yeah, at this point, I have some experience, but not much using paid, paid work with keywords and targeted commercials.
I think this is a very healthy perspective, though. I think
Yeah,
we are quite often getting into that mindset of like, nope, I tried it. It's never going to work for me. No, it's a done deal. But who knows? Maybe it was about the messaging. Maybe it was about the positioning in the market. Like you said, maybe the
yeah.
keywords were wrong. So there is always so many different factors that come into the equation. But what I want to talk about now, though, is I had a chance to talk to a lot of people who are a part of the healthcare, wellness, well-being kind of
Hmm.
industry. And recently I've been getting into more and more conversations about the idea of an ultimate goal within business, right?
Yeah,
And I think for people in your industry, it's much more often that you see them building just a lifestyle business, right? The whole idea of like, hey, if I can just build this out to a certain point and just maintain that level of business, I'd be happy, right? As opposed to some people who are intentionally getting started in business to really build an empire and just build a huge operation. So to touch a little bit on your goals, what is the vision that you're building for yourself and for the business? Where do you want to take the business?
um, I definitely, let's see, I can share right now that I definitely don't want to have an empire. Don't want to do the empire. I would say for me, where I'm at is to have just a very relational, really strong lifestyle business where I'm impacting people who are highly vetted that are looking for my work, we've reached each other, that are really receiving a lot of benefit from my work, so that I'm getting a lot of referrals and recommendations, that my practice is business is expanding with the workshops, with the one-on-ones, and it's really having a full, comfortable, continuous cycle of clients that come in, clients that leave feeling really satisfied. And again, that full circle of bringing in new clients, onboarding, and those that have done the work leaving really satisfied. So, kind of finding a
Hmm.
good connection to bring that really comfortable, I call it what you said, lifestyle business as I see myself moving and going forward into versus having a mega empire.
Have you thought about what this is going to look like on a short-term basis? Like maybe the next couple of months, maybe till the end of this year, what is that short-term goal setting for you? Maybe the revenue that you want to generate, maybe some of the milestones that you have set for yourself personally or the business, anything that comes up?
I would say for me, a really an intentional milestone for me would be to bring in a good amount of leads from doing the workshops, from people during that live workshop saying, yes, I want to get on a call with you, saying, yes, I want that lead magnet. It's perfect for me. And growing my email list, growing the number of context or of clarity calls I'm doing on a monthly basis. So being intentional with what I'm sharing in my workshops, consistency of doing 1 to 2 workshops a month, and maybe just having a good cycle of timing content of the workshops and together with the goal of growing my list and getting people that attend the workshops really are excited by my lead magnet to say, wow, yep, you are you're the problem to my pain point. I'm so glad that we connected. So being more visible and intentional with the work I'm doing, what I'm sharing it and getting out in front of my ideal audience.
100%. And I love the
Yeah.
most that you emphasized it a lot throughout the conversation, but everything that you do when it comes to your communication on social media is really relationship and value based.
Yes.
So I think that you're really coming from genuinely a place of like, hey, this is what I created. It's going to help you out. And if you agree, we can continue in that conversation
Mm-hmm.
next. So I love that perspective. Nancy, let me ask you one last question though. It's been some time for you in this industry. So I'm curious about those early stages and early days of you just running this operation. What is something that you perhaps didn't know back then and you do know now that you would give yourself as an advice?
Mm. I would say, I think that one of the biggest things, my takeaways is back then, what I didn't know, I was looking to other successful coaches for my inspiration. So I was in a way mimicking or copying. Wow, if this worked for them and they're successful, I'm in a kind of where their energy kind of copy that. So I wasn't, although I was credentialed as a coach, I wasn't authentic in who I was and in the way that only I could do the work. So I had to take a step back, kind of retool and learn to really reside in my truth, to authentically share what I meant to share, how I meant to share it versus what works for one person is great. That's their sweet spot, their secret sauce. Really tapping into what works for me, who I am, how I offer what I offer, and what makes my offering unique, distinct, and really beneficial and inspirational to others. So yeah, that is definitely my biggest learning is to show up authentically, comfortably who I am, knowing that I have the best gift to offer those who are meant to resonate and work with me.
Well, authenticity is definitely the best way to go. So I want to say
Yeah.
thank you for providing that this entire
Thank
conversation.
you.
Nancy, I love the company. I love the business. I'm definitely going to be cheering up for you. And I'm curious where you're going to take the company in the next few years. And if we have anybody who's listening to our conversation right now that
Mm-hmm.
might perhaps want to look into you more, look into the type of work that you do, or maybe just follow the journey, what is the best way for them to go about it?
Well, there's two ways they can do that. Look me up. I'm on LinkedIn. It's Nancy Stevens. My LinkedIn handle is Nancy Stevens Coaching. I provide weekly content on LinkedIn. You can also go to my website, nancystevenscoaching.com. Grab my free somatic clarity guide, sign up to subscribe to my list, read my blogs. Um, those are the two best ways to find me on primarily LinkedIn and my website. My goal is to consistently begin to deliver really high touch workshops that offer value in the moment to the people that attend, for those that are just there for that moment that want to get a few nuggets, or those that are there to explore what could be possible. And as a result of that workshop, making that decision to connect with me more deeply in a clarity call and, becoming a client. So that is my goal to start getting more and more visible. I call it standing in front of my business, really sharing those workshops and immersive experiences that really connect people to themselves. And by doing so, connect them to what's possible and how to work with me to grow forward as a leader and both personal and professional. So I'm excited as well.
Beautifully said. Well, everybody, Nancy Stevens. Nancy, thank you
Yep.
again. It was a
Hey,
pleasure. It was a
thank you
pleasure to
so
have you.
much. Thank you so much for interviewing me. I appreciate it. This has been really insightful, and I hope those listening got some nuggets today as well of your own journey.
My pleasure. Beautiful. Now, to our listeners, if today's conversation inspired you as well, make sure to subscribe to Founders Future on your favorite platform. And also, if you're a business owner, more specifically a consultant or a coach, or you have an agency and you're trying to scale the business and really enhance both your sales and marketing efforts, also visit closers.io. Get in touch with our team and discover how exactly we scaled our company from 0 to over 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on crushing it, and I'll see you on the next one.